The trailer just dropped and I need to talk about it because episode 6 is not a regular episode. The title alone tells you everything. The heart is a lonely hunter. Before you watch a single second of footage, you already know this one is going to hurt. And after breaking down every frame of that trailer, I genuinely think we are not prepared for what's coming on the 31st. Quick heads up first, episode 6 drops on the 31st, not next week. There's a holiday pushing it back, so we're sitting on this for almost 2 full weeks. Painful, I know. Now, structurally, this episode looks like it's split across 2 time blocks. The same night episode 5 ended on, and then the following day. And that matters because the trailer opens right where we left off. No time jump, no reset. We're picking up with Jade, disoriented, fresh out of everything he just went through, waking up at the police station. The show knows how strong that episode 5 ending was, and it's not letting go of it. But Jade isn't the only one exposed at night. Donna's group is still out in the open in the forest. The scarecrow monsters broke through the cabin. There's no shelter. The night isn't over. So one of the first real questions this episode has to answer is, how do they survive those remaining hours? Now let's get into the meat of it. Jade and Boyd. The trailer shows them in direct conflict. Boyd is pushing back hard. He flat out tells Jade he is not sending people on a suicide mission based on hallucinations. And honestly, you get it. Boyd has kept people alive in this town longer than almost anyone. He doesn't work on faith. He needs something real. But Jade is convinced. He went looking for answers and he believes he found them. The tunnels, the secret passage behind the colony house basement, the room where children were sacrificed, being physically thrown into a space filled with their bones. That's not a dream, at least not to him. His theory is clear. Remove the bones, break the loop. Take the remains out of that cycle of sacrifice and the whole thing collapses. Is he right? Maybe. But this show has a specific way of giving you answers that are technically true, but incomplete. Yes, the bones matter. But is it really that simple? Does this town ever let people off that easy? Here's what's interesting. When we actually see them approach that basement door in the trailer, the one Jade found in his vision, neither of them looks like they've made a discovery. They look confused, maybe even scared. And there's a detail in the background that callbacks to how the show flagged real versus illusory moments in episode 5. My read, they open that door and find a wall, solid, blocked, sealed off, which actually connects to something that got teased earlier. An image of Boyd at the tool house carrying a massive sledgehammer heading toward a wall that matches exactly what would be behind that door. So the passage exists, but Boyd doesn't break through it. In episode 6, episode 6 is about finding the door and realizing it's blocked. What comes after is the real story. Now here's the part of the trailer that genuinely hit different. Someone shouts that Victor is on the roof of the colony house. Boyd looks up and there's Victor right at the edge, just standing there looking down. You feel it immediately. You know exactly what that image means. Boyd climbs up, they talk. And what comes out of that conversation is something the show has been building toward for 3 seasons. Boyd asks Victor if he remembers anything about the man in yellow. Victor says he doesn't. And then he says, I can try. 3 words, that's everything. 3 seasons of Victor shutting down the moment anyone pushed him. 3 seasons of him being the person who should have answers but couldn't access them. And now, finally, he's willing to go back in. Not because he's suddenly healed, but because Boyd shows up on that roof and just sits with him, gives him the human connection he needed in that moment. And that's who Boyd has always been, underneath all the hardness. Why is Victor on that roof? Because last episode broke him open. Henry, drunk and raw, said things directly to Victor's face. Victor found out things about Miranda. He was confronted with the full weight of everything he's witnessed and survived and carried. Victor doesn't argue back, he doesn't get loud, he goes quiet, and sometimes when Victor goes quiet, he ends up somewhere dangerous. His willingness to try to remember the man in yellow could be the most important development of the entire season. And then there's the last scene in the trailer, the one that changes everything. We're inside the colony house, second floor. Marielle and Christy are on the ground next to someone trying to resuscitate them. Marielle says there's no pulse. Boyd comes in desperate and takes over himself. And in the background, Tabitha's face, scared, shaken. Someone in the core group is dying or already dead. So who is it? Henry has been ruled out. His name appears in the episode 8 synopsis alongside Fatima, both at a critical crossroads. You don't kill a character in episode 6 and mention them 2 episodes later. Boyd stays. He's executing a major plan through the final stretch of the season. That leaves 2 real candidates, Donna or Ellis. Donna's episode 5 arc basically read like a farewell. She handed off leadership to Kenny. She had that profound moment with Tabitha about sacrifice, essentially saying if someone has to be the one, it should be her. Characters don't get written that way unless the show is preparing to lose them. But if it's Ellis, that changes everything. Think about what episodes 8 through 10 are building toward. A plan. A dangerous all-in plan that Boyd is putting together. What would make a man who has always balanced risk suddenly throw caution out completely? What would make him go all in with no guarantee of survival? Losing his son. If Ellis dies in episode 6, Boyd has nothing left to protect. No reason to be careful. No reason to come home. A Boyd with nothing left to lose is a completely different person. And that transformation would fuel everything that comes after. It would also redefine Fatima's arc and carry every remaining storyline with more weight. Donna or Ellis. One of them doesn't make it out. Here's where we are. We're past the midpoint, episode 6 of 10. The show is in its final gear and the mysteries aren't teasing anymore. They're paying off. Victor is finally going to open up. The sacrifice room and the children's bones are going to become central to Boyd's endgame plan. And the man in yellow, I keep coming back to this theory that the massacre in previous cycles didn't happen because of him. It happened in spite of him. That what he actually enjoys isn't the monsters or the rituals. It's the moment when humans break and turn on each other. That's his favorite part of the loop. And if that's true, then whatever Boyd is planning in the final 3 episodes isn't just a fight against the town. It's a fight against that impulse, against what this place does to people. That's the real stakes. And The Heart is a Lonely Hunter is the episode that sets all of it in motion. We've got almost 2 full weeks to sit with this. Use them. Rewatch episode 5. And when the 31st finally comes, we'll be ready. Drop your theories below. I'll see you then.